A very good evening to you, and thank you so much once again for sticking to Y254 TV. You are watching the Power Talk Show, and I am your host, Cheryl Blessing. So last week, I unfortunately wasn't in with you, and Philin Jean stepped in, and we had a wonderful show. So today I'm back, and I've brought you an interesting conversation that I believe impacts so many of us, especially the youth who are trying to create jobs and find their way through the digital space. Today, I want us to focus on content creation and the law. What do we need to know? What are some of the things that we can equip ourselves with in terms of knowledge, information to help us improve our skills and help us maneuver the journey of content creation, because it's a fairly new industry, particularly in Kenya. So we want to understand how we as content creators and the creatives can better understand the law such that you avoid getting yourself in trouble and you make it work to your best advantage. So this evening, I'm joined on set with two lovely gentlemen, one who is an expert in content creation and the other who is an expert in law. So let's start with Celestine Jr., who is a digital creator. Karibu.
Thank you so much.
And this is not your first time being here. Welcome again.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
I can't wait to have this conversation.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I always feel like we need to have a family WhatsApp group of everyone who's come on Power Talk.
Yeah.
And we're having Essendi Kenneth, an IP lawyer, for the first time on Power Talk. Karibu.
Asante sana.
How are you feeling?
I'm appreciating. I've always appreciated, because probably Y has been really impacting the country for the longest time possible. So yeah, it's not easy, and keep doing whatever you do best.
Thank you. We are here for the viewers, so I want us to get a lot of information from this conversation, because so many of the youth are trying to create job opportunities, because people are moving from the traditional job settings and moving into a more digital version of traditional work. And one of the things that has come up is content creation, which is now major all over the globe, particularly in Kenya. This is a very fast-growing industry, and we need to understand how the law is regulating this, the things that the law can do better, and what we as the creatives need to understand before we get into trouble with the law. So I want to hear from you as well. So you can reach out to me at Y254, go on our social media platforms, and we've asked a question. What do you think about the future of content creation? Do you think it's the future of the Kenyan youth? So share some of your comments, some feedback, some experiences that you've had, even in regards to this conversation, and we will sample that as we progress. So I think to start off the conversation, because, you know, we've had various conversations on content creation, the digital space, the opportunities that are there, but I really want us to understand what is the impact of content creation without understanding the law. Kenneth, could you just tell us, if you do content creation without really understanding the law that guides you and the things that impact you, what is the impact of that?
Of course, probably dissemination of information about different aspects of our lives, and also basically looking into monetization, because you're doing also that content at least to pay bills, daily bills, because at some point, yes, there are some people who may say I'm doing it for fun, but probably maybe I could treat it as hawks or something. But basically the main thing, you're going to do content, it's probably to earn something from it, to basically benefit you, because some of that you use a lot of time, and probably, yes, there's an aspect whereby someone normally says you're supposed to go to this other side, find money and invest more into your creative business. But for me, I'm looking into, in a way, yes, you have to develop your brand to a certain level so that you can start earning from it. But I also look into it as you progress. You know, we have upcoming artists, develop artists, and probably superstars. So it's a whole different level. So from each other level, I think you're supposed to enjoy the benefits of each and every other level for you to put in more effort to create and to monetize and earn from it. Yes.
So you need to understand the law and how it regulates your content, so that you can keep earning your bread and keep scaling up through the industry.
Yes.
So, Celestine,
Yes.
you've been a digital creator for about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And Kenneth just touched on investing.
Yeah.
Creators invest a lot in their
Yeah.
craft, and people sometimes do not understand that.
Yeah.
How much investment do you think goes into just shooting a video?
First things first, thank you so much, Cheryl, for that question. Many people don't know this, but content creation is a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work where not just in creating the video itself, but in what now you're connecting it to, the law. You know, the law on content creation, based on my realization, it's meant to protect my content from being copyrighted, from me myself from being defamed, me myself from being abused in the media. But as a content creator as well, I have found out that there are a lot of mishaps between the law and now the content creation. Most content creators, when we are getting into the game, we come into the game not knowing a lot about this, a lot about what goes on behind the scenes on the law. You just have this video that you want to put outside there for people to consume. You know, so asking me about the tools are necessary and they are very essential. You want to have the best tools to create the best content. Remember, content creators, it's like movies now. You hold a lot of influence. You're trying to give the best product of what you can. So most of the times, if you can't afford these big cameras, you try and get, let's say, a good phone, especially if you're starting out. And when you get to a certain level of, let's say you're a big superstar, as he has said, you will be able to afford the better, the better tools. And I think when you have these better tools, you have a better chance to compete with content creators, not just in Kenya, but with content creators across the whole world. Because in content creation, we also have a chance to put Kenya on the map.
And that's so true because,
Yeah.
especially in the digital space, it's so easy to gain access to 2 million people.
Yeah.
Previously, it wasn't. Previously, you just, maybe in your locality, you share some CDs, some flash discs,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yes.
But now, as Celestine has mentioned, and as you were saying, there are creators who have been in the Kenyan industry for such a long time, some who I personally follow and I consume their content. And I see in terms of the investment, creators really invest a lot, not just in terms of equipment, but the time, the energy, just scripting alone takes up a lot of intellectual energy. And because your IP stands for intellectual property, by the way, you're a lawyer who's studied and specialized in that. Would you say it's very important for creators to have lawyers? Because I've had creators who are in the industry, they've been in the industry for so long, talking about the need to have a lawyer, the need to have a legal team. Would you say it's important for creators to even consult in legal advice while they do their content?
Thank you for that question, Cheryl. Yeah, basically you look at how the landscape, the creative landscape is in Kenya, and the creative landscape, how it is probably in the legal side in terms of people who are trying to protect whatever that is there. There is a whole gap because, yes, it's very, very important for someone to have a legal team. A legal team will make you get to understand the nitty-gritties of what is happening. You know, they can be able to advise and all that. So with that, it also comes on a cost, but it depends also with how someone will approach you and talk to you about something for you to give them guidance, and you get to see how passionate they are in the industry. So I would highly recommend for people to get legal advisors. They can choose me, of course, and be able to also scale whatever they have to the next level, because so much is so tied, you know, more of everything is pegged on something. For you to realize profits, you can get into a contract. I've had situations whereby renowned artists like in Kenya, they're duped in big concerts because they didn't even read a contract, and then they'll probably, I couldn't even talk about the repercussion that comes with that. Basically, at least when they know that is happening, that's when you learn. you know, our country is in a way that until someone learns from like probably more of a shortcoming, they learn from a shortcoming. You understand? They won't learn from me giving you the information and making you be aware. They'll always learn from the failure or probably the shortcoming that comes out of whatever it is that has happened. That's when now they'll take an opportunity and lead themselves to probably kind of protect themselves or seek legal advice. Yes.
And that is so true. Because if we're being realistic, not many people, even just ordinary civilians, not many people consult lawyers and get information up until kimeumana. They need a lawyer. That's when they will consult with a lawyer. Now on that note, Celestine, as a creator, when you were getting into the field, when you were shooting your content wherever you are, did you go through the law? Did you go through and try to understand what body regulates creators and things like that?
Yeah, let's talk about it. You know, it's very interesting that he has said that, because sometimes we don't even read the community guidelines of where we are presenting these videos. You know, sometimes you take this content piece and you put it in this platform. You find like this platform that says this content cannot be, like it's prohibited in this platform. But on this other platform, the same content is working. Why? Because we don't read. We basically don't read. So what am I trying to tell you? I'm trying to tell you there are some videos that I can do and post them on TikTok, but there are some videos that I can do, the same videos that I've posted on TikTok, I can post on YouTube.
Yes.
I'll give you an example. TikTok does not allow videos with swords, not swords, with knives and guns or anything that's, you know, violent. That's called like, it's like the violence act in TikTok, like you are instigating violence. So if I'm making a video and I'm using a knife on TikTok, it cannot air what I banned, it will be banned. So back to your question. I did not read anything about, I did not even read the community guidelines of the platforms. As a creator, the platforms where I was putting my videos. And I think it's important to create this awareness, because me, when I was starting out, it wasn't even meant to be like this big deal. I just had a gift. I just had a talent from God. I was like, hey, God has allowed me to do this. I can do it. But the more you grow, the way you said, you fail to learn. So I would post a video, I post this video, and it tells me your video has been banned in 150 countries. So I go and read and I'm like, okay, you cannot show this here. You know, and that got me now into realizing there is now a behind the scenes. I'm not just making videos.
I can even also interject on your point.
Tell me.
So basically when looking at that, you know, that's basically social media. They're regulated internationally because they have rules and regulations. You understand? So I also don't find any good sense in the fact that probably a country will invade the rules and regulations of a certain, because of course all the laws that we use are borrowed. Even the Copyright Act laws are borrowed from probably from the United Nations, and are the ones who regulate all laws in the whole world. So looking at it, also trying to control content in probably the creative sector, it's something that it still has, I can't really explain, but there's a loophole and there's a gap, and also there is a misuse of information in terms of how it's supposed to be. So like having all this, probably TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you understand, they have rules and regulations. So you putting there your content is already regulated because it won't go through. So we don't need to have probably a country invading into internationally recognized rules about a particular thing with the local regulations. It doesn't really get to make great sense.
Because some of them are countering each other. So I also feel like, as we were having the conversation prior to this, do you think the progression or the development of technology has played a major role in that? Because when we look at the number of times our law, the Kenyan law, is reviewed, we were just talking about the Copyright Act that was proposed in 2001. We are currently in 2024. Those are 23 years, and so much has developed. Because back then it was Nokia ile ile yenye ni ngumu.
Kwa ile
Ile yenye
weapon,
unapiga
ile
mtu
ukichapa
ni-
mtu,
ni weapon. But now we have smartphones, we have we have goggles
Yes.
where it's so interactive and AI is there. So do we think it's also because of the progression of the technological field and the digital space and our law not catching up as fast that's also affecting some of the creators?
Yes, yes. That has really affected, because that's the rules that regulate copyright in Kenya. It's number 12 of the 2001, the Act. So probably we are supposed to have amendments to look into, because there is AI. In trying to look at whatever Kenya Copyright Board has come up with, I haven't realized trying to look into things like to do with artificial intelligence, because that is the only thing that is going to reduce the OPEX, operating expenditure, probably on what is coming out into the creative industry. So it's something that they should look into, because that is the future now. So the technology is really surpassing whatever we have, and we're not doing a lot of it, because yes, there is bureaucracy, there is a lot of things that get to happen within both the regulatory and all the systems that try to help the creative economy move to the next level. So we have a few things that there are not even a few things. There are so many things that are supposed to be amended so that we can also move to the next level. Because I realized we're part of the World Intellectual Property Organization. You understand? We're also part of the African Regional Intellectual Property Organization. We are part of this organization, both Korea and Japan. All those are first world countries. They even came to do an underground research about what is happening in Kenya. You understand? So these people also have the people at the top who advise on intellectual property in the whole world. But basically we should look into having people who are passionate about intellectual property and the content creators. Let them know about the legal framework. Let them know about the technical framework. They be on the ground. It's not about just training Kenyans to catch up with the laws that they have, you know. Even if I have copyright, you understand, and I know I'm being supported by whatever systems that are there, I'll be able to come and, yes, copyright something. Even if you tell me 10,000. And I know if I copyright this with 10,000, I'll be able to learn probably an international collab or something. I'll be able to garner in something into the top of my creative industry. So I'll be able to also add on whatever I have more money to also create more content and be able to push the creative economy to the next level. Yeah.
And you know, it's funny that you've mentioned that, because we've been seeing so many of these just artists or creators and people who are influential in the industry who are coming up with copyright claims. Of I came up with this phrase, I came up with this title, I came up with this slogan, and they're making so much money from that. Sometimes there's an aspect of perhaps exploitation, because why not copyright it before it goes out into the public and you see corporations using that?
It's probably trademarking it.
Yeah, why not trademark the product before you disseminate it? But from the creator's point of view, do you feel like, because now in Kenya we also have the Kenya Film and Copyright Boards that regulates all that, the content creation, the films, things like that. Do you think there needs to be a body? Should we come up with a body as the creators who really understand, as Kenneth is saying, the technical aspect, the legal aspect, the international scene and where we are going, to make it all make sense, so that the creators feel like we have a voice and we are connecting with the bigger board and we understand all these things, so that I know before I start using a particular phrase and making it popular that I should trademark it to avoid getting this legal issues.
To talk about that, you know, content creation is not like acting. We are not taught how to do content. You are not taught how to, like, you know, you can be taught how to write a script. You can be taught how to, but when, like, you see, like, Aziad, our lovely, you know, lady dancing on TikTok, who taught her that?
It's very much.
It's very much. It's very much. So, like, even as creating bodies is put in place, I actually think, like, number one, it's very important to put a body just for content creators. just for content creators. Don't mix it with musicians. Don't mix it with actors or filmmakers. This is content creation. And not only that, if they can also be able to, this body won't only be for interacting and sharing and creating awareness about the laws of content creation, about the laws of trademarking, about the laws. Not only that, I actually want also another body predestined for teaching content creators how to be content creators. Content creators, I'll tell you again, we are not taught how to be content creators in school. So for the government to come with tools that I bought, creativity that I have, platforms that are registered to multinational corporations, you know, if the government is coming and is saying, okay, from this content creator, we are going to get this, or we can get this, before it gives me the tools, before it gives me the knowledge, before it tells me what, because we've talked about trademark,
Yes.
we've talked about copyright. All that I came to know after. I came to know that videos can be copyrighted after. I came to know trademark. We talked about failures.
Yes.
A lot of failures. People come and tell you, put down that video or I'll sue you, because it's privacy law. You're now entering into, I don't want to be in your video.
Yes, because there's this other clip that's been going around for Ian Joroge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so probably also, you know, that's...
Yeah. You don't want, people say...
breaching someone's
breach.
privacy.
Yeah, people say,
You know,
I
and you
don't...
just let it go.
Yeah,
just
and
like
me,
that.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
'cause people
okay,
don't even
this shot,
understand.
and you're like, okay, this shot was just I was taking a video of myself like this, and you passed by, and they're like,
Yeah.
no,
And you just
No.
happened to be in the
you
video.
just happened to be in the video, I can't make it again. You're like, no, I don't want to be a part of your video.
Yeah.
So like, as much as you said, like a body can be put, I'd also like another body to be put, to actually, for people who are passionate about content creation, people who are like, what is this? Can I learn how to do this? I would want to see a university of content creation. Why not?
Because there needs to be courses.
Why not?
And you know, we have the master
Content creation
classes.
brings in a lot of money. Let me tell
Yeah.
you something. It brings in a lot of money. And if we can enhance the creativity of Kenyans, you
Then
know,
we can
I
go
saw Crazy
places.
Kenna the other day. He wants to win an Oscar, by the way. And he's among the best Kenyan content creators. If you don't know him, you go and check out his content. You know, he wants to win an Oscar. And right now he's doing this project, and he has hired so many people, around 50, 60 people hired, you know, based on contract, based on copyright law, based on all of these things. Now, if he did not know all that, hangeweza kufanya what he's doing now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what he's doing, a creator who is just starting does not have the information that he has.
Yeah.
So it will be quite difficult to do that without the body that you're talking about.
So there just needs to be, the way we've talked about,
Yeah.
a body to regulate
Yeah.
and be a middleman.
Actually a new body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Specifically for the creators.
Yeah.
And also we need to have education on this, because even digital marketing,
Yeah.
in the past 2 years, it's been one
Yeah.
of the highest
Yeah.
earning, the careers and the jobs.
In terms of
And,
advertisement.
yeah, even this year, people are anticipating it to still be at the top 5. So these are fairly new industries
Yeah.
that are picking up faster than maybe the lawmakers and the policymakers were prepared for.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of intellectual property, I was just thinking about this. But content, I come up with a concept. I write a script, I come up with the shots, I edit the video.
You create your own set.
Yeah, that qualifies as intellectual property, right?
Yes.
Because I heard of there was a conflict between these two comedians. One became international and the other one is still in Kenya. So the one who's here was saying that her content inspired the one who went global. And she's the one who started with that kind of content
Yeah.
before the other one picked it up.
Yeah.
So I wonder, are those grounds for like a lawsuit? Or how can you ensure that your intellectual property, maybe the characters that you have, the content that you have, is copyrighted in some way? Is there a way to trademark your own creativity and your content to make sure that, yeah, to make sure that it's just yours and no one can just take it and use it and say, nimekuwa inspired?
So, thank you for that. So to shed light probably on what it all entails, it's actually a whole blanket in itself. So looking at what is actually, we start with knowing what is intellectual property. Intellectual property are actually exclusive rights that someone gets to own after protection of the very many ideas that we have. You protect those expressions. That's basically how copyright works. And intellectual property is basically divided into four. We have the copyrights, and then we have the trademarks, and then we have the patents. Patents are high-end. They are probably inventions, you know, so we exclude them from the creative, the content sector. And now we have the trade secrets for companies like the Coca-Cola brand. You understand? Probably Safaricom. And then now we're looking at designs, probably, you know, the creative industry is the one that gets to spur probably the designs that are coming out here. They are the ones who get to influence them and probably get it to the higher audience. So looking at copyright, they're just exclusive rights someone gets to own in the artistic film. You know, you can reproduce, print, distribute without anyone questioning. After, yes, you can decide not to protect them with Kenya, because copyrights are protected in Kenya with the Kenya Copyright Board. Yes, and then trademarks are protected by the Kenya Industrial Property Institute. It's KIPI. It's actually one of the best organizations that I could recommend. They're doing a great job. They're really doing a great job. And then, yeah, and then now they also regulate patents and the trade secrets. So most of the time when you look at now the trademarks, it's something that really many people are not looking into it, you know. So I would really recommend people to start now also trademarking their own brand names, so that now someone couldn't probably infringe on whatever, because with trademarks you're copyrighting a slogan, a name, you understand, a logo. Yes, the expression of probably that goes out there. So I would really recommend people to really go for that. Nonini is doing a great job with, he has this brand that is going around. He sells his merchandise. For this song, there's a song he did.
It's like no something.
Yes.
I think I've seen some
like
that.
He's one of the artists that are really also selling merchandise through trademarks. They've protected it. Also, he did protect his music. You know, you can decide to protect it or leave it. But, you know, when there's an infringement, that's when you will understand your certificate is the one that serves as a collateral for you not to be duped by someone or infringed on, or probably for you to have a better chance of winning a legal battle. Yeah.
So it is very possible for you to trademark your content and your creativity, such that in case where someone, because you know sometimes people say imitation is flattery, but sometimes it's not always the case, because people can steal. Yeah, people can just steal your entire idea and they maybe even get a bigger audience.
Can I say something about that? You know, like in content creation, now let's look at it from my perspective. This is a business.
Yeah. It's
a business, yeah? And we all have ideas. Sindio? Now, content creation, content is content. Let's talk about example, a vlog. Sindio, you can do a vlog and say, I'm doing a vlog going to Diani. That's you. When I see you do the vlog going to Diani, as a content creator, I also decide, Celestine is doing a vlog going to Diani. You see? So I'm trying to show you that it's also such a competitive sport and a competitive business that you just can't go to someone and tell them, you stole my idea.
Yeah.
You know? I want to show you the fact that there are ideas, like example, oil company. An oil company is selling, like, let's say, lotion and something. Yes. Sindio? Yes. This could be cocoa butter from Nivea, and this could be cocoa butter from men. Okay.
Nice and lovely.
Nice and lovely.
Of course.
Nice
hey,
and lovely.
wanaume hamjui products. Mnazote arimis.
You see these two products, you see, both of them are cocoa butter. It's still the same thing in content creation. So if there is any content creator outside there, even as you're trademarking, you are copywriting and all, I don't think you should feel like, okay, this person is stealing my ideas, because the wheel is already moving.
Yeah.
What we are doing, we are making the ideas better and better. If you can make the idea better, let's go.
Yeah.
If you can make the idea better, let's go.
Because
we are in
you
the same.
got your idea from someone else.
You
are inspired.
Yeah,
Nothing is new under the sun.
I'm telling you the truth. You need to believe in your own ideas, and if someone inspires you, okay, you've inspired me, you know. But take that inspiration. Don't be exactly like them. Put your own creativity. Wacha watu waone.
Ngoja nikuja hapo alafu ni talk about sasa turudi kwa crediting the original, maybe the creator or someone like that. So let me read some of the comments that we've got. This is on Facebook. We have Franklin Wood Judy who says, good evening. Yes, yes. Content creation is the way to go for self-employment and should be a profession and should be recognized.
Yes.
The question we asked once again was, do you think content creation is the future? So Franklin totally agrees, and I agree with that as well. Mudi Babu says 001 Jomvu MK2 records locked. Gastu Babu, hey Mudi, tumekuona. Your records ziende mbali sana. Jontex Nyagaka, Mama's son, says count me in. Thank you so much for watching us this evening. We have Irungu J. Jason who says in. Thank you so much. Catherine Carrera says, yes, it's the way. Thank you so much, Catherine. I've missed you, by the way. And Irungu is still locked in. We have Amos Mok who says, I think so, 100% true. Kevo Wakata Nzalai says in. Thank you so much. Harrison Kirimi says, Njone Kiengu tuko pamoja. Asanti sana, sorry. So many people are joining us, and so many people are resonating with the idea that content creation is indeed the future, because we're in a digital space and it's only going to go better, and it's becoming more advanced as the years go by. So I want us to come back and talk about giving the original creator credits. We want to talk about copyright infringements, how to go about it, and what you should do to help you evade some of the things that can come about because you don't know the law or you do not understand what is regulating your content creation. So stick to Y254 TV. This is the Power Talk Show, and I am Cheryl Blessing. We will be back after this short break.